Are we up? Okay, sorry about that, guys. Sorry, excuse me. I thought I had it in time, but no. Who's here? The usual crowd, can I? Good morning, right? That's because I'm the leader. Is that the idea? If Dave says good morning, everybody says good morning. Okay, do you see, look at this, chips. What's been happening here? Carving has been happening. Not octopus. Paper's out, yes, thank you. 2 packs are out. Ishikawa-san this morning and Sugu-san. They're both racing against time to get their current package of Japan Journey prints finished before mold sets in. We're really worried about mold right now. It's extremely hot. Even with the air conditioner on up there, it's just too hot. So we've done a few things to counteract it. One is that they've split their paper batches in half. If they're going to make, say, 80 batches, 80 sheets of 80 prints in a run, they'll do the key block first and then split the pack 40-40, put it in the freezer. Then on any given day, bring out just 40 of them, do a couple of colors, put it back. Next day, bring out the other one, do a couple of colors, put it back. So it's more troublesome because every time you get a block ready and pigment ready, instead of going through 1 to 80, you go 1 to 40 and put it away and change for something else. So it's really troublesome. The printers don't like to do this. But each piece of paper is only exposed to the warm air for half the time that it is the other way around. And we really have to be careful about this. So anyway, so they're running through that. The reason for the chips here, if those of you were here on the Thursday morning stream, Thursday morning stream, Wednesday night for you guys, you noticed that I was carving one of the blocks for the Japan Journey number 10 print. We were running behind schedule, and it was really important for me to step in and help John-san. John-san's doing 3 of the blocks, I'm doing 2 of them, and they were finished. Bang, bang, bang. I finished the stream and got it done. So what's here today? I have 2 options right in front of me right now. I could, to a chorus of boos, I could put the octopus block back here and finish off the last bit of this calligraphy. Or I could get the next block out, the one we're using for this year's gift print, and get started on that one. Let's do both. I've got to finish this. This is about 15 minutes work just left here. Let me do this first, and then, no, let's do both. You guys talk a lot. Don't ask too many questions. Let me get this thing finished. Look at this. It's just a few minutes work. Put that to bed, and then we'll get out the gift print, do the expose of the theme, and start carving. Let's do both. Let's do both. Because it's a Saturday, of course, Cameron's not going to be here today. He's a bit frustrated at the moment. He wants to get going on his new video project, and he's got a bunch of preparation to do, but he's up against 2 blocks. One block is that he's prepared a bunch of files, and before he can continue, he needs me to do some voiceovers for him so he can get them into his main video. That's one block, me. Then the next block is things are getting busy. His orders coming in. His normal work is there waiting for him. So he's limited in the amount of time he can go and spend on video projects. So he's a bit stymied. It's okay, there's work to do. Okay, let's get this done and then get on with the next one. Something's out of focus. Somebody's been mucking with my lens here. So once the stream is finished this morning at 9:30 or so my time, once I get off, I have to do a 10 o'clock party, but as soon as the party's done, I am going to be getting over to my browser and I'll be uploading that video. That video is done, rendered, good to go. And we have music in this video. We were talking about this a bit before on the stream a few days ago. We were chatting about this. And the young man, I don't know, young man, might be, well, I don't know, the person who was in the stream talking about, maybe they could supply some music for this, that turned out to happen. I went to the website they suggested for me, downloaded a couple of the sample tracks this person had there. I'm sorry, I really don't have any idea. They said use the handle name Momo, so I can mention Momo as this person's name. Are they here today? If they are, speak up, speak up. Anyway, one of the tracks is in the movie through the kind permission of this person. We paid a small token kind of payment for it. It's not so much when you're considering how much movies, pay composers and stuff to do music, but anyway, whatever. This person seems to be happy with that, so. And that will go up on YouTube later this morning, as soon as I get finished with the stream here. And there's something else maybe I can add to you here to add the interest here. The music track that is going into this David's Choice video, it turns out the music track is called The Invisible Library. And when I saw that on Momo-san's website, that the name of the track was The Invisible Library, I thought, oh, they're referencing that old famous Stefan Zweig story. And there's a short story written, I don't know, 100 years ago or so, or something, by is it German or perhaps Austrian, I don't know, author, Stefan Zweig, Z-W-E-I-G. Now, I'm actually misremembering this because it's a short story about prints. Prints, European prints, not Japanese prints, but European prints as in etchings and old woodblock prints from the 16th and 17th century of Europe. Now, after having seen that as the title of this piece of music, it jogged my memory, so I thought I'd like to go and read that old story again. And it turned out that I had been misremembering it. The story wasn't called The Invisible Library. The story was called The Invisible Collection. And it's the most horrific horror story that I've ever read in my mind. When this memory came up after seeing this the other day, is it him? Is this him, her? I don't mean so. Okay, there's the click. Good, there's the link. I was going to get ready to do this, but okay, can I put an extra link in here too? Oh, I don't have it. It's in my browser. Oh! Can I open the browser without crashing this whole system? Let's try this. Cross your fingers, people. You've got to see this. It's insane. If you're interested in woodblock prints at all, this story. Here it is. Let me pop this into the stream. It's out of copyright because it's whatever 120 years old or something. There we go. This story. It's a story about tangentially related to prints. And my God, what a horror story. And the story's a little bit sort of old-fashioned in tone and in mood. It's a bit melodramatic, but it's okay. It's literature from 100 years ago. It has the mood of 100 years ago's time. It's fine. And anybody can understand it, I think. It's not just for people who have an interest in prints. Anybody can read this and feel what the author has felt when he wrote this story. But myself, as a printmaker, I read this with, both sides. There's two people in this story. There's the narrator, the one who's telling the story about what happened, and he is a print dealer. And he is telling the story about his relationship and his meeting with a person who is a print collector, a connoisseur. So anyway, I guess as it seems here, our composer friend here didn't know about this. It was just simply a coincidence, I guess. But there it is. It came straight to my mind, which is why I checked that track first when I went to the Bandcamp page. And bingo, it looked really suitable for our video. So everything is lined up perfectly. The music was suitable. The composer said yes. They agreed to the price. The copyright thing seems to be okay. I don't know, I'm fully expecting within minutes of uploading it, somebody on YouTube will make a claim against it, I suppose. That's been my experience so far. Even when using completely royalty-free music, somebody always claims against it, but we'll see what happens. You're asking about the green in the flask, it's funny, I tried to clean it the other day. I know, a couple of days ago. I tried to clean this the other day. I forget why, but there was another photographer, somebody was around, whatever, and blah, 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 blah. So I thought, okay, let's give this. So I took the flask to the sink back there, the sink that's in the party room. Like glug, 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 half the water out, and then I started to shake it to, get the stuff. And it wouldn't come off. Those green things they've been growing and they're bonded to the side of that glass. So I got a toothbrush that I have here and tried to reach in and scrub them out, and the toothbrush wouldn't reach. So I got some, just swirl it around. It wouldn't come out, so the photographer was coming soon, so I just had to put water back in and then let it go for now. But what I've got to do clearly is go outside and get some gravel or something, some small stones and dirt and whatever. Put them in there and shake it around and clean it up. But, so I actually tried the other day. People are thinking I don't care about that, but I actually tried to clean it. Didn't work. Should that be connected? I think that should be connected. It's not connected there yet, but I think it should be connected. I think they've just, at the very end here, he just got really hurried and scribbly. No idea what he's done here. That clearly should be connected. That's a break. I've got no idea what he's done. This is a type character. This is an like, I don't know the pronunciation, but it's the shape of an followed by a crew. So it's and the symbol here that looks like a crew means repeat the previous sound. So this is an So this is just whatever expression you want to put into it. I'm getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I think that's supposed to be another just broken. That's the way this whole text ends, with the woman gasping, bigger and bigger and bigger. What am I doing carving such a thing? But speaking about what to put in this flask, there was a young man here yesterday. He was he came here to say thank you for the YouTubes and stuff like that. But he was chatting for a while. We were chatting about a whole bunch of things, his future plans and things like this. But he also mentioned one thing. He asked me if I had considered putting bleach into this water. And I assumed that he was talking about, to keep down the life that's growing in there. And he said, no, that's not what I mean at all. He said, if you put bleach in, the way the light refracts and the way the light spreads on your desk will be much better. He said it'll be brighter and it'll refract at a wider angle across your desk. And I'm like, what have you been smoking? It's just a bit of bleach. It's just something. And he said, no, this is the thing. Please, believe me. And he got his phone out and he brought up a couple of websites. You know that deal where people in, for example, Africa or somewhere where there's no electricity, they've got these huts and they cut holes in the roof and they put a bottle of water in there. And something like it gets the light from outside and shines the light into the room. It's some way to sort of like a skylight for a very, very low-tech skylight. I'd read about that many, many years ago, but didn't know much about it. Anyway, he says that the people who are seriously working on that and the people who have engineered these things to help these people living in areas where there's no electricity, he said they've learned about a certain percentage of bleach that you put in there, and it makes that thing much brighter and spreads the light around the room. And I was still like, really? But it seems like it's a thing. And I forgot last night to look it up. I didn't have time to chase this. But it seems like it's a real thing. So when I do get this flask here cleaned up, whenever I do this, tomorrow or next year or whenever, it will be something worth checking and look into this, find out what needs to go in there, at what percentage or whatever. And then, according to him, it's going to greatly increase the actual usability of this flask as a thing that spreads out water. And this is new to me. I had no idea that such a thing would even be possible with physics or whatever. The introduction of some different chemical in there, how would it affect the light refraction? And he said, yes, it does. It's an actual thing. Like fresh water and salt water refract light at different angles, and you put bleach in, it'll do something different and stuff like this. And I had no idea that such a thing was possible. So we'll have to look into that and help clean it. Keep it clean and working better. Sounds great. What to do with this corner there? I really don't know if there should be a bar there or not. I really don't know what to do with it. There's no doubt about this character. This is clearly the repeat, one that looks like a crew. This is the repeat symbol, so it's carved this. Now what I'm going to do here, I think, and we've come this far doing this really carefully. I don't want to screw this up. And we've already got in this whole long block of text, there's 2 or 3 places back up at the beginning there where I wasn't able to read the character. So I left them without carving them. I think there's 2 spots, maybe 3, up in the earlier part of this block of text. So what I'll do, I can't read this character either, not because it's too complex, but because it looks like it's been broken. So rather than do it wrong, I think here this morning now, I'm going to leave out this. I'm going to carve these 2, which I know how to read. I'm going to leave this out because I'm not sure what it should be. And that'll make 3 or 4 spots on this block that are temporarily unfinished. And then I'll chase up somebody who knows how to read this old writing to get some advice on what they should be. So we've come this far, so let's do it properly. And there's a couple of possibilities of what might have happened here. The old carver just didn't, got it wrong or whatever. Maybe there was something unclear in the calligraphy at that point. Or maybe the block, the book itself that I reproduced, has become chipped. And the copy that we're copying here, the particular print that I'm reproducing, this one, has got the block was broken at that point. That's possible also. Anyway, it should be able to figure this out. I can't figure it out myself. I don't have the knowledge of those characters, but there's lots of people around who do. So let me just finish this character here, and then we'll call it a day for this octopus block for now. We'll move on to the next project. And will this be the end of the octopus carving? Yes and no. This is the 8th face out of 8 blocks. And once I come back and get this calligraphy sorted out, we'll be able to do some more test printing. I did test printing some months back. We have a couple of proof copies right here already. And those of you who remember seeing that know that the test printing went well enough. The blocks look good. But what was really confusing was what the print should look like. Because these are brand new blocks, and because Dave is a control freak, and he prints really carefully and stuff like that, the test prints we got were clean and quote unquote beautiful, but they were almost completely sterile. Didn't look interesting at all. And when I was doing that test printing, I had been preparing the block by just grabbing a rough sheet of paper off the floor, slapping it on, get the pigment right. Okay, looks good. Let's do our real test printing. And that rough sheet that I had just snatched up off the floor turned out to be more interesting and attractive as a print than the careful test prints that I had made. So we've got some discussions and thinking to do when it comes time to actually do the printing of this print. And it's quite possible that I'll have to specifically roughen up the approach on this. It's a piece of interesting, porn in one sense. It doesn't need to be a completely detailed, carefully worked out, beautiful print. So we'll do lots of tests on this and chat with you guys and get some feedback and stuff like that. Once we do start printing, I'm going to do the first batch myself because everybody's been waiting for that for a long time. Then our production printers will take over. All the girls are really waiting to get going on this. They really want to do this themselves. But the thing is, we're not going to be able to really show that on Twitch. It's quite an overly, extremely erotic design. Although I can carve here on Twitch with no problem, the actual printing every minute of the stream, the whole image is visible, and that's really not so cool because the people who choose to be here, that's fine, but there will be lots of access by people who are perhaps upset by this kind of thing. Anyway, we'll deal with that as we get there. Okay, here we go. Other than that little corner there, which we're going to leave for now, and then if I can find the other 2, there's one up here, which is a mix of real calligraphy and mess on the paper, and I can't quite scramble it which is which. Then there's a 3rd place up here somewhere. Here it is. I wasn't able to read the character. It's a distorted type of an old character, and I think, in quotation marks, I think I can understand the brush order, but it's quite possible I've got it wrong. So before I carve that, I want to get advice from somebody who knows the calligraphy. So those 3 spots remain undone. Just a few minutes work once I know what to do. And then, of course, after that, we've got a bunch of persuading to do. Clear out all the stuff. around the outside. And again, that's no problem, easy. Okay, so there we are. Octopus is 90x%, 99.x% clear and finished. Let's put this away for now. There's nothing else I can do for this morning other than just persuade, and that's just too noisy, no fun for anybody. So let's put this to bed for a while. When was the print made? I don't know, 1812, 1814, 1820, somewhere on there. I don't really know, I'm sorry. I don't remember. Yeah, about the same time that I started it, so. Yeah, YouTube might allow it, but Twitch is different. Twitch is different, so. Okay. Here we go, let's get one. Okay, for those of you who don't know what's happening next, our business has, we sell prints of many, many types. We have subscription prints here, we have bigger prints, antiques prints, we have new prints, we publish Nuclear Heroes. We have what we call the Hunger Club series. They're postcard size prints scattered through our catalog. And every year we choose one of the prints that's in our postcard size. They're not meant for postcards going in the mail, but just that's a traditional, it's a postcard size print. Every year we choose one of those, sometimes choosing from the back catalog and sometimes carving a new one, getting it ready. We choose it and put it on the website. And is it October the 10th or October the 20th? October the 10th, the website goes up and the little page we've got called the gift print. And we've got the print, it mounts on a board with a story, gift wrap, blah, 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 blah. And many people over the years have been choosing these to use as small gifts for friends at the end of the year. Christmas presents, if you wish, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, 2 years ago, we hit a home run. There's the little print, the owl print we call here. You guys saw me carve it, we saw me printing it. Our little corner of the internet melted down about that print. It was just a beautiful, cute little design, but not so cute that it looked like schlock. Anyway, it was a home run. Tons of people chose it as their gift print this year. Some people bought a dozen copies. I think the max was like 15. Somebody got 15 copies and asked us to send it to 15 friends. I don't remember. The year after that, last year, we hit a double maybe. We did a small print. It's the kingfisher hovering over the river. People enjoyed that. It was okay. This year we have a problem. We chatted about this on the stream before. The margins on these things are getting tight. The American dollar is way down what it used to be. We have to raise the price this year. It's been $30 for more years since my beard was only half as long as it is. I don't remember. This year it's going to have to go up. Me and Cameron, he wants me to just jump for something that will be good for the next 10 years, and I don't want to jump that high all in one jump. So we don't know what to do. So anyway, $32.50, $35, I don't think $35, $32.50, whatever. It will be a bit higher price. So because it's a higher price, we need a really, really special item. We need something really good this year. We need something good all the time, of course. But this year it's got to be really good. It's got to be really good. So what we were doing, I was standing here in the shop by myself a while ago, looking around the shop, thinking to myself, Dave, what have we got here in the shop that people are always saying, can I have this one? There's something on display here in the shop that people ask us every day, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people ask, can I have that print? Because it's on display, they think it's for sale. And we have to say, no, I'm sorry, that's a display copy. I don't actually have any copies for sale. Why not? Well, it's difficult to carve, difficult to print. I myself published it years ago and issued it, and it went very well. But at the moment, we don't have any printers who are capable of doing that. So why don't you print it? I'm kind of busy here, and I cannot sit down and spend the month it would need for me to do another couple of hundred copies of that print. It wouldn't be a month, a couple of weeks. Anyway, what I'm getting at is there is a specific design here in our shop that everybody, when they see it, they instantly say, I want that. Probably you guys know what's going on here. This year's gift print. Can I do this or not? I don't know. I'm going to try and make a postcard-sized version of our famous scent of chrysanthemums print. I got to put a couple of things on the table right away. This will not be a dot for dot. This will not be a dot for dot, line for line. The real one I made, it's this big. It's dot for dot, line for line, microscopic. I can't take a microscopically carved print and cut it down to half size in X, Y, 1/4 size in area. I can't do that and carve it. I mean, not even with the help of my trusty microscope here. It's not going to happen. So this is going to be adapted, of course. It's going to be adapted. how far. If there's 20 lines here, can I carve 20 lines? The part on this print where it went crisscross, there's a place here where her hairs, every single time in my life I get that backwards, even when I think about which way it should be. Oops, won't focus that close. Just a minute here, hang on. There's a crisscross here. And there's no way that's going to happen in this edition. No way, no way. Oh, that's Suga-san. He's here. Hello, Suga-san. She can't see us, of course. So there's no way that crisscross is going to happen. Something. It's going to be adapted. And yes, this is boxwood. This is boxwood. It's a piece of boxwood I've had here for a long, long, long time. This is not one of the blocks we prepared for ourselves. This was done for me a long time ago. I don't remember. By Matsumura-san. Back when I was making my Surimono albums, I'd been getting things more delicate. Then one day around there, this would be about 2004 or something, I got this scope, this microscope. And it changed things for me. I was able to all of a sudden carve much, much finer, much finer. So I chatted with Matsumura-san at that time. He'd been making the cherry blocks for us. And I asked him if he'd make some in boxwood for us. And he just laughed, but I pushed, he laughed, I pushed. And I went out and sourced some material, took it to him, and he bonded it down. And the first ones were a disaster. Boxwood trees don't come very big. Boxwood trees come small. My Surimono album trees were about LP album size. So he tried some by putting 2 pieces of boxwood side by side, running it through. It worked to carve, and the first time I used it, it was a disaster because after we started printing, the water in it curved the wood, and I ended up with 3 U-shaped pieces of wood, had to trash it and start all over again. So he and I batted this out back and forth, and he really didn't want to do it, but I really wanted these blocks. So we ended up with a compromise. What he did was he took the boxwood I gave him, and he bonded it on, only in small blocks. We gave up on the idea of a larger block, but in small blocks it could be used for these postcard-sized prints. And immediately after dawn, he planed it down to about, this is about 2 millimeters thick. It's way, way thinner than our normal wood. We normally bond the wood on with 5 or 6 millimeters, dress it down to about 5. There's a couple of concerns here. If the wood here is too thin, we are using a really, really super strong glue here, and it's hard and brittle. And if your chisel goes into it, the tip of your chisel crumbles when it hits that glue layer. So Matsumura-san said, I can't do this. My customers will complain all over the place. I said, I am the customer for this order. I can handle it. Just let me do it. Do this. I'm not asking you to sell these to anybody else. This is a custom order. He says, it's going to break your chisel. I said, I am responsible. Just let's do this. So he did it. He did what I asked him. It's about 2 millimeters. And because of the 2 millimeters, the boxwood doesn't have so much inherent strength. As it dries out, the 5 millimeter boxwood was so strong it went bang, and it was lifting off. It even split the layers of the plywood inside. But this one, because it's only 2 millimeters thick, it just doesn't have enough strength and guts inside it. So that batch of blocks he made for me, there was about 10, 11, or 12 of them. They have yet to show any cracking or splitting or warping whatsoever. I've used a couple. You saw me carving one here a while ago. Remember the 2 boys and the calligraphy? It's another project. When is that going to get finished? I don't know. These other projects, these were done in the same batch of wood from Matsumura-san. This is the 2 boys and the calligraphy coming along really well. It's the same thing. It's carved on that thin. And then this one, the print I did in my own Arts of Japan series, the one called Kumadori, the kabuki makeup print. That's carved on one of these blocks. So I've been husbanding these and using them carefully over the years. And now it's time to bring another one out for this project. I'm talking so much, not even listening. What's going to go on here? Anyway, the thing about these boxwood blocks is, because boxwood is a small tree and it's got like little funny branches and stuff, it's really, really difficult to get good, clean pieces. And as you can see here, we've got little knots and pops, some clear areas. And I picked one of the clearest ones I had in the stock, and I've now got to figure out where to put this, how to match it up, so that I don't get her face in the middle of a knot or something like that. So let's have a look at this. That knot can come in the kimono area, it doesn't matter. her face has got to go in the cleanest area. But having said that, this area near the knots is the hardest area. This part is hard. As it gets over here, it gets softer and softer and softer. Okay, let me try and just get it ready so I can figure out the location. Hang on a second. When I showed this to Suga-san last week, when I showed this to Suga-san, you could guess her reaction. I mean, the print here in our shop, it's, I forget, 23 colors or 26 colors or something, I don't know. And because that's the one she knows, and she and I have chatted about the idea that she can try printing it one day. So she's been looking at this print as the ultimate goal of her printing challenging and blah, 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 blah. So when I said, look, we're going to try doing a smaller version of it, she thought what I meant to do was to do this small one also as 26 colors, make a perfect reproduction. And she just crapped herself. Said, no. So I had to say, no, relax. That's not what I mean. What I mean is we're going to simplify the print. I'm going to simplify the carving as much as I can, and we won't do it with 26 impressions. And I showed her my printing plan. I think we can do this. Making it look really attractive with 7 impressions. I think we can do this. So you see what I've done? I've cut off the registration marks, which sounds a bit silly. Why is Dave cutting off the registration marks? But it means simply that that corner is now the registration, and this line here is now the registration. So I'm going to cut the blocks on the piece of wood and then put this into those registration marks, and that will give us our starting position. So I've got to find a place on this wood where the face is in an open, clear area. That's a big bad knot. That's in the open space. That's not connected. This is out of it. This is a knot here. Where's that? It looks like it's falling between. I think we have a spot right here. This will do it. Sorry about the confusion. The pattern on the back here. It's nothing to do with this. I just use a blank piece of paper. So that's it. So let's mark this. I'd like that to be a bit closer to the edge. Is that okay if I come down there? Yeah, that's okay. We'll use this part of the block. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Okay, let's get my tools here. When I was out in Ome last week, or it was 2 weeks ago, I can't remember which one of the trips, when I was out there, I was looking through some of the drawers there, and one of the filing cabinets, I was thinking about emptying the filing cabinet and sending it to Asakusa so we could use it for the collection here in Asakusa. But we didn't get around to that, it was just too full of stuff and junk. But anyway, in the filing cabinet, as I was going through, I found a bunch of copies of that chrysanthemum print. They were the reject copies from when I made it. A tap coming here, Nick. What's going on? I'm going to tap. If you got headphones on, be careful. I'm going to tap. 3, 2, 1. Height. Anyway, I found my reject copies of this print. I published about 200 of them, and it was quite a big stack of rejects. There's about 20 copies or so. 10%, I guess it's a bit high, but whatever, for a print that difficult, it's not so bad. And most of them actually are not rejected because of bad printing by me. They're rejected because there's spots on the paper or blots, or I dropped a bit of pigment or stuff like that. But the prints themselves otherwise were okay. So I don't know, should I let those go or not? Call them B-level prints or something, I don't know. Okay, tap coming again. 3, 2, 1. Height. Oh, I got it right. Nice wood. Click, click, crunch. Looking good. Final check. That knot is okay. The head's in a good place. Water looks clear. That knot is well clear. There's a few little rough knots there. That's in an open space in the hakama. I think we are good to go. My God, I'm going to carve this, am I? Or am I going to make a parody of it? I don't know. We'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. Just live dangerously. Who cares? Who cares? When I'm on Yahoo, do I come across my own prints? I don't see them on Yahoo so much. They're always in the dealer shops down in Jimbocho. And in fact, right now, if you went to Yamada Shoten's website, look in their current catalog, there's a bunch of my 100 Poets prints in the current catalog at Yamada Shoten. A couple of people have emailed to tell me. I don't have a link here. It's Yamada Shoten is the name of the place. If you look it up, they have an English website, and their current catalog is always on the website in PDF form. And if you just Google my name, not Google my name, if you look on their search page, look up my name, you'll see them. And they're cheap. They're way, way cheaper than what I sold them for. The years the Poet series was going out, they were 10,000 yen each here. That was the standard monthly subscription price for the 10 years that I did those Poets prints. 10,000 yen. And the person who sold this set to a dealer, or the son or grandchild, whatever, of the person who originally collected them from me, must have got just a tiny, tiny fraction of that value. Because the prints are for sale on Yamada's website. I think they're 4,000 yen each. They're right. There's some at 3 and some at 4, depending on how popular the particular image is. Some of the women images are more pretty, and some of the male courtiers are less interesting. So I think they've done it at different price levels. Yeah, so I mean, this is, my stuff as it is. It's not worth much. We're not in that league. We are not making prints that are going to be worth a ton of money. Sometime way in the future when I'm gone, who knows, but I don't care. We don't play that game and we don't think about that. If you're getting a print from us anytime, please don't even think of it as something that we'll appreciate in value, because we're publishing the same print all the time. Our prints are not rare, at least not in any time frame that makes any difference to us. So people who collect our prints because they like them, because they want to enjoy them, because they want to support our work, it's not for financial, for investment purposes. Mike, I don't know how many times I can ever say that. So my prints up there in the dealers' catalogs are selling for less at retail than I originally sold them for years ago. It's fun when I go in there, I'm a customer of theirs very occasionally now, not very often. We were in there for a TV show last year. The TV people were trying to find David's roots and stuff. And I was talking about where I used to buy the old prints from the Edo and Meiji era. And they said, "Where did you get them?" I said, "Yamada Shoten." So they said, "Let's go down there." So we go down there. The guy knows me, he remembers me. I've been his customer for years. And now we're sort of competitors. I have a shop as well. So we're okay. It's not, the printmaking market is big enough for everybody. So. But it was fun to see him, and my own prints were there, and he's like sort of half embarrassed because they're so cheap. And I'm just laughing at him. "Oh, of course, relax, fact, I don't care, I was kind of curious who he got them from, but he wouldn't tell me. Whatever, client, what's the word? Client, privacy or whatever, so. Something that is popular, every now and then, one of my old Surimono albums comes up in Jimbocho, and that snaps right away. Those are in demand. The poets' prints, not so much, because they're not inherently interesting for most Westerners. But the Surimono albums, okay, we're going to get a mixed peel here. It's starting to peel already. See what's happening? We're getting our peel. So put away your scorecards, please. We're going to have the pullback and the peel all in one. Yeah. This is the pullback and the peel. The gumpy is coming off together. Also, I perhaps should mention we have news on the Gumpy front too. We have good news on Gumpy. Hold tight, hold tight. Probably next week. Cameron's off for the weekend. The samples are here. The price list is here. God, am I going to carve this? Record the wood crunches with a recorder. We have real trouble with this. Cameron has been trying to do that the last couple of months because Cameron's trying to be collecting. He's tried to collect a bunch of the work sounds. He wants to use some sounds as ambient soundtracks, and he wants to use them as illustrations and many, many things. But this environment we're in is so noisy. It sort of sounds maybe quiet. This room sounds quiet. Did you hear just a few minutes ago the saw sound? The guy was cutting the ice out there. There's a new air conditioner up on the Rocks Dome, which actually a bunch of us are going to complain about because it runs all night. It's and then goes down, comes up, it's awful. There's so much noise. This morning I tried to record that bonus track for the new YouTube video. There's the air conditioner just starting up just right now. And I tried to record it here on my bench. I couldn't do that. There's too much background noise. So this morning, to record that little audio track, I spoke one of the poems for this new video. And to record that track, I shut myself in the bathroom. Doesn't work, because when the light's on, the fan's going. So what I did was I put the text for the poem on my laptop, took it in the bathroom, took the recorder in the bathroom, shut the lights off, used my laptop screen, and read it from the laptop screen. So I can't do nice recordings of this wood crunch and stuff like that. And Cameron and I have been wrestling with what to do about that. One idea was to go to Ome, do it in Ome, in the workroom there. It's in the middle of the countryside, nothing's going on. Yeah, except there's a river going. Shutting all the windows doesn't help. So I don't know, short of going down to a recording studio somewhere that has some special isolated room and taking all my tools down there. No idea. Well, we do noise reduction. The one I did this morning, I did that. I recorded it in the bathroom there. When I came back and listened with my headphones, there's a background ambient noise there. So I record an extra 30 seconds at each end, copy paste that. Audacity, the software we use in the Mac here, has a great noise reduction. So you copy paste the first 20 seconds and the software filters that out through the whole video, through the whole length of the audio. So we're doing what we can. Okay, now this knife, actually I sharpened it Thursday mornings before going on the stream. So I won't start with the face. There's no way I'm going to start with the face. We're going to start with some of these kimono lines. And these are, I should have had the original. Hang on, let me go and get the original. Hang on one second. Yo-sho, yo-sho. Okay, here's the original. And look at the carving here. It looks kind of smashed up. And it is smashed up. It's what we call kasure bori. Bori is carving. Kasure is scratched. It's also called sabi bori, rusty carving. And the lines are broken and scratched. The idea is it's a brush. When you dip a brush in ink to do Japanese writing, it comes out smooth and black, but as the brush runs out of ink, it gets scratchy and scratchy. And the old carvers replicated that in these old kuchie prints. So these lines are not the clear singing line of the old ukiyo-e. They are scratched up, beaten up, brushy lines. Now this is the Meiji original we're looking at right here. So let's flip this over. This here's Dave's copy. Now you can't replicate something scratch for scratch for scratch, because the scratching is done not by replicating every tiny microscopic dot, but the scratch is done by carving it clean first and then bashing it up and bashing it up. And as I bashed it up, I of course bashed it up in a different time and place than the original Meiji carver bashed it up. But it's the same effect. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. But this is at much, much, much smaller scale. So that line, for example, that you see here, it looks kind of clean here. Actually, it's scratched up. I'm going to have to be really careful, because once I carve it first clean and then tap it, if I tap it too big, it's just going to destroy this down to nothing. So I'm really going to have fun with this, fun in quotation marks. And some of this stuff probably almost certainly will end up being cleaner than the real version, because there's a limit to how much scratch carving you can do at a very, very, very small scale. And we see that in the original. If we go back to the original, the wider, fatter lines here are scratched up and antiqued, but the delicate, totally fine lines are not. And of course, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't scratch her fingers, but it's okay to scratch kimono lines, fabric lines. And same thing up in the hair. You wouldn't scratch these lines, but you do scratch up in the body of the hair to give it a rough texture. So I don't exactly know what I'm going to do. We're going to play it by ear. There's something else we're going to miss. She actually has eyes. See her eyeball in there? Her eye is actually open looking down at this. Now that's not, probably almost certainly not going to happen with my version here. I'm not going to close her eye. There will be a tiny, tiny faint little glimmer of light inside it. But there's no way we're going to be able to detect there is her eyeball looking down at some specific object. We're going to try what we can do. It's going to be a reproduction, but in no way totally, hugely dot for dot reproduction. So you're not going to see a great scratch carving demonstration right now this morning, because that comes later on in the process. The first step will be to carve the shape of these lines, and then what I'll probably do is once the kimono, I won't start with her face, absolutely. I'll start with the kimono lines, because I'm out of practice. I haven't seen this block. I don't know what's going on. We'll carve the kimono lines first, clear out around them, and then we'll scratch them up. So we'll see how it goes. But that's not going to happen today. I have no idea how long it's going to take me to do this. This will be on this bench now for the next couple of weeks, for sure. And the girl's upstairs. Subi-san, you saw her go upstairs, cheerful. She is, when she sees me actually carving this now, she's just going to be crapping herself. It's okay. She can do it. I have confidence. Yeah, we should talk about that then. The original print, let's zoom back out a bit. That's what I said. I made this with, I can't remember exactly. It's 23 or 26 colors. Let's pop this out of the way here just for a minute here. It's, I think, 23 or 26. And what we're going to do, I said we can do this with 7, and I think so. Here's what we'll do. Block 1 will be the key block, the outlines, the one you just saw right here. That's block 1. Block 2 will be the hakama, her base. And we may do it flat like this. We may do it with a gradation at the top going down a little bit light. So block 1, block 2. Block 3 will be the base tone on her upper clothing. And it'll be something similar to what you see here, a dirty blue, little bit lilac color. That's block 3. Now then we're going to start combining. On the original color, there was a green tone here, and there were yellow flowers. They were separate. We're going to put that on block number 4, some yellow flowers, which will, on top of the blue lilac, give a green tone as well. So we'll combine there. Block 5 will be the actual green flowers, and I'll try combining some of that on top of this kimono, but I suspect it will be too deep. It won't matter. So the lilac kimono will have yellow from the flowers. So that's 5, right? Ki, hakama, kimono, yellow, green. That's 5. Then I need underneath her hair, the mass of her hair is on the key block, but look at this, it's all white among there. So we need a block to do a gray tone underneath the mass of her hair. That'll be block 6. But it won't be black enough, so block 7 or block 6 repeated with darker printing will be printed darker hair and smudged off with a finger at the edge. So that's going to give us 6 pieces of wood with 7 printings, and it will be a print that looks almost like this. What it would be missing at that point is the pink here, the brown here, and the background glow gradation. But I've only done 7, so I've got, and if I get another piece of wood and carve it for that gradation and this pink and that brown on the back side, we can hold that in reserve and see what we go. So 6 or 7 or 8 impressions should give us a very, very nice replication of this one. We won't be printing the little ruby, I guess. The brown for that can go on the ring. The green for the chrysanthemum will be there. The chrysanthemum flowers will end up being white. The skin tone, this is printed as a skin tone, chalky skin tone. That will be white. But at postcard size, I think it's okay. All right, let's get going on this. Let's get going. Here's the original block I did all those years ago. This is the one that appeared in the video. This is a block with a piece of boxwood inlaid. I don't know if you can see the line. There's a line here. Boxwood inlaid on cherry. Cherry lines carved and then roughened. How's our time? I've got time for 15-20 minutes just to get this started up. And away we go. There's a border line here. There will not be a border in the finished print. The colors are just going to bleed to the edge. But I need it at some point to show where to cut the color blocks. Oh, this is one hard piece of wood. Dave, be careful or you're going to break this knife seconds from now. Take it easy. Oh, it's hard. You hear the growling? Sorry about that. Didn't have breakfast this morning. Too busy doing that video editing. Sacrifices for my art. No breakfast. Oh, who's that? Was that Ishikawa-san going upstairs? Didn't see. Who's in today? Dei-chan? No, Dei-chan's not here today. Ishikawa-san is in. Sugu-san's in. Ishikawa-san's in. Then staff, it's going to be Kawai-san in the shop here. And Mori-san, no, Mori-san's not here. Doi-san, I forget. Watabashi-san's here. She's back from England. I guess I'm the party host at 10 o'clock, but before that I got to get that video uploaded. So those of you who are in Europe, sorry, you can catch it tomorrow. You're going to bed now. But the North Americans, if you hang on now for 10 or 15 minutes, you'll see David's Choice number 10 should be uploaded. It's all done now. All I have to do is I have to choose, what do you call it? Not a keyframe. Oh no, I forget the poster frame, poster image. And then for that video, many thanks to two people. One is Marku, of course, Marku in Finland, who did the font. In fact, the font page also has to go live this morning too, so that'll be happening within the next half hour. mokohankan.com/fonts. That's going to be going live. Now if this was super delicate carving, if we were getting to the face area here, what I would do at this point, we've cut one half of these lines here cleanly. If I was now gonna, if this was in the face, before I try cutting the back side of this line, if it was a super fine, clean line like her eyes or her hair, before I cut this line, I would cut a relief line. I would come over here and cut a stress relief line. It's called stibori, throwaway carving. Traditional carvers don't ever do V cuts. When they're cutting a line on a piece of wood, they will just cut the sides of it. Like what I just did a V cut here, right? I cut the real line and then a V to get rid of the wood so I could see the line. Total traditional carvers don't do that. They just cut the line itself, then they come over here and they cut this one, and then the intermediate stuff is cleared out at a later stage, probably even by a more junior carver. But I like to see these lines. Before I can cut the back side, I find it much easier to do this V and get it out so I can clearly see the exposed side of the line. But anyway, what I'm saying was, you cut this stibori, throwaway carving, so that when you now come to the line itself, as your knife moves into the wood, look at this, it moves away. That wood is moving out of the way because of the throwaway carving. And it means then that there's very little or next to no stress on the leftover line itself. So that's what I'll be doing up in the face area. Now here on these lines, because these are all going to be scratched up anyway after I finish carving, we're going to wiggle them a bit, we're going to scratch them a bit. So these throwaway lines, stibori, are really not necessary. I did it once on this first one here just to show you it and talk about it. But when I do the next one over here, I am just going to come in and dig away. It doesn't need the actual superfine defense of that line because we're going to schmuck it up anyway in a few minutes. But this is the classical way right here. Throwaway carving first, then you can razor sharp exactly where you want to go with no stress on the leftover lines. Any stress on those lines, and then when you come to print it, the water will soak into that compressed wood. Oh, watabayashi-san, hello. You've been on video. The camera is showing outside. We saw you. We caught you going upstairs.
I didn't notice it.
There we go. Now the line is clear. I'm not going to do it once they're all done. I will be smashing, bashing. We'll see over the next few weeks lots of this scratch carving. What have we got? Where are we? What time is it? Are we okay? Oh yeah, 9:50. We can still go a bit more. Yeah, we got a microscope. It's right here. I'm looking down through it onto the wood here. Absolutely. Okay, just to review, it's 9:60 and I'm going to do 5 more minutes or so, then I'm going to sign off and I will instantly start the upload to YouTube for David's Choice number 10. So it should be up there within 10-15 minutes. As soon as I can upload quickly because we have a good net connection here, but YouTube then takes time. YouTube does what's called processing. They make all their different versions of it. They spread it to servers around the world, stuff like that. So I don't know exactly how long it'll take before the live button is clicked. But I'm going to start the process as soon as I finish the stream here. And many thanks to the two collaborators for this one. The music by somebody whose name I actually don't know on the stream here this morning. He said use Momo as the handle when talking on the stream. And then the other collaborator is Marku-san, who is probably going to bed now, maybe, I don't know. And endless hours and days and weeks of work on the font. 今日どうになるかわからないね。忙しいかどうか。今週もうアップダウンがありますね。今もありますし、すごい混んでる時もあります、ね。今日河合さんが釣りやりたいんですね。
あ、そうなんですか。
そう、今最後の一色ですよ。ポートレットの作品ですね。昨日乾燥予定あったんですが、時間が合わなかったんですね。あと4時間、5時間ぐらい。で彼が今日やりたいんですよ。でどう私2人でパーティー、3回でしょパーティーは。
3回。
それ手伝う人は誰が土井さんが来る森さん
今日はね、
メキシコからの。
そうなんですか。
I forget her name, she's still too new.
アルフって
そうです。彼は名字ですね。ですが、彼女は水曜日に連絡あったんですけど、ちょっと具合が悪いですから、どうになるかわからない。で、今日来るか来ないかわからないです。そう。だから来ると楽ですが、河合さんどうぞ上へ行ってください。彼女が来ないと、2人でパーティープラスお店は難しいですから、河合さん申し訳ない。
でも彼女もここができますか？
できますよ。もうどっちでもできます。パーティーのリーダーはできない。初めてまだ会ってない。
まだ会ってない。
マルセロさんですよ。メキシコから。会ってない。
会ってない。
お、グッ。いや、もうとてもいい人でしょ。
I thought she was here newcomer.
No. とてもいい人でしょ。ですが、具合はわからない。
222です。
222ですね。そう。Hello.
おはようございます。
河合さん、今日マルセラさんが来るか来ないかわからないですね。水曜日、彼女もキャンセルしました。具合が悪かった。今日担当ですが、今の時間にいないと多分今日いないみたいですよ。彼女が来ると、
会ったことないですよ。
そう。
まだ会ったことないですよ。
そう。いや、とてもいい人。だけども彼女が本当に来ると、じゃあ、私3人ができますよ。
わかりました。
でも彼女が来ないと、
そうですね。わかりました。大丈夫です。
石川さんも彼女に連絡したんですが、土曜日どうですかで答えはなかったんです。
なんだそんな3日ですか？
わからない。問題は彼女のメールはホットメールですね。だからうちのメールがやっぱり迷惑メールみたいですから、読まないケースが多いです。One of our staff members, Marcella-san, her email is hotmail, hotmail.com, and that's so much trouble for us. We get orders from people, the hotmail, print party reservations, hotmail, they don't show up. They didn't get our email. There's something about the Hotmail system. It seems to really heavily deprioritize mail from Asia. If it's from Asia, it must be spam. And maybe that's 99% the case. I have no idea. But our email really has trouble going to Hotmail. So when somebody doesn't show up for a print party, we check the reservation. It's Hotmail. Yappari. They never even heard back from us. So of course, they made a reservation, didn't get a confirmation, didn't get a letter from Dave, didn't get anything. So they just don't show up. And Marcella-san's mail is Hotmail. I've told her, please get a Gmail or something, or we'll give you one at local Hong Kong, anything. We need to get a hold of her. Okay, it's time, 9:22. Let's go. I got to get the next party ready. Okay. Laser Flickflurg ですね。Okay, keep it. The real name is here. Okay, good. Anyway, thank you very much for being cooperative with that, allowing us to use your music. There was two things I was worried about. One is that the money might not be enough, which you seem to think is okay. And the second was because we're not using your full music as a perfect one track. I cut the beginning and I cut the end. We're just using part of the middle. And sometimes composers get unhappy about this, and understandably so. They've made a composition. It's like somebody buying my print and just using part of it. So I was worried you might be not cooperative there. So thank you very much for cooperating with this. I've put your identification name at the end of the video itself, and of course it will be on the YouTube description page at the bottom, so anybody can follow the links. Okay, I'm out of here. If you wait 10, 15, 20 minutes for Google to do its magic, the YouTube video will be up and open in a few minutes. Other than that, I will be off. I will see you again my time Monday morning, for most people overseas, Sunday night, Sunday evening, and you know exactly what I'll be doing now for the next few weeks. And don't even think about ordering yet. The order page goes open October the 10th, I think. October 10th or October 20th. Thanks for watching. Bit of a mixed stream today. Lots of interesting stuff, I think, though. Who cares? See you soon. Thank you again. They're waiting for the kimono shop to open next door, I think. That's usually the case. 9:30 the shutter opens next door, and there's always people waiting outside to get their kimono on for the day. And the sky tree, I think somebody stole it during the night. My God, it's gone. Good night for now. Bye-bye. See you next time.